In the exam room. I was in love with my brother's nemesis. Suddenly my brother pushed the door in. Have you seen my sister? I hid under the table and secretly tugged on his white coat. He laughed softly and said, No. I haven't seen her. The only sound left in the quiet exam room was the rustle of a pen on paper. Today is the 30th day of my pursuit of Liam Carter. Why can't you say yes? I salivated as I eyed his long, beautiful hands. Liam Carter was dressed in a white coat, and the light from the setting sun was blocked by the high bridge of his nose, casting a shadow on his side. His narrow eyes were slightly downcast, and he looked withdrawn and self-possessed. He did not change his face. The 30th time calmly refused me. Because I and your brother can only choose one. That's the way it's been since I first met him in high school. He and my brother, for the position of valedictorian, fought at each other's throats. My brother, of course, was the one who got the short end of the stick. Liam Carter always had that superior look, coldly watching my brother badmouth him and ignoring him. And he's never warmed up to me either. I've had a crush on him for years, and I have to work up a lot of courage to even talk to him. I was about to say something when my brother's growl suddenly came from outside the exam room. Emma Thompson. There's that asshole Liam Carter on this floor. Why are you running around? Come out. I was so scared. I didn't wait for Liam Carter to react. I rolled and crawled to hide under his desk. I'm going to die. If my brother knew that I took advantage of the time to bring him food to hook up with Liam Carter, he would kill me. The space under the table was cramped, and I moved my head, suddenly resting it against a soft spot. Liam Carter's voice suddenly tightened, coldly warning me, Don't move. The next second, my brother appeared in the doorway. His tone nasty. Boy, have you seen my sister? Liam Carter glanced at me with a smirk. My heart instantly lifted to my throat. Cautiously, I tugged on Liam Carter's white coat and pulled it pleadingly. The next moment, I heard Liam Carter chuckle. Didn't see it. He was so good at making my brother jump out of his skin with that tone. I was about to let out a sigh of relief when suddenly my brother recognized the change in light. He scoffed in a drawn-out tone, hiding under the table. Okay. You're pretty good at that. I tensed up and hugged him tighter. Liam Carter replied lightly. Girlfriend. What's up? Yo. Girlfriend? What girl's grave was dug up to get you? He said, amused with himself. Liam Carter smiled slightly, his tone even softer. Yeah. It's tragic. My brother was gone. I was so scared my legs went weak and I didn't move for a long time. Like squatting inside? Liam Carter asked me lightly. I then noticed my awkward position and busily lowered my head to get out from under the table, my face reddening into a persimmon pancake. I'm sorry for the trouble. Liam Carter's thin line of sight was dark and sharp. Next time don't hide here. Then where? Liam Carter chokes, closes his eyes, and stares at me solemnly. I'm not going to be able to do that with you. Understand? He squeezed his pen and tapped it on his desk. I'm not a nice person, so stay away from me. On my way out of the office, I collided with a woman. Emma? Sophia Miller, wearing a white coat, smiled at me. You're here for Jingchu too? I choked and nodded my head. She was Liam Carter's classmate and joined the same hospital as him after graduation. She was close to him, a very good person, and has something in common with him. I gave way and swallowed. Sister Weiwei. I'm leaving first. After saying this, I ran away without waiting for her to react. Behind her came Sophia Miller's cheerful voice. Jingchu. Let's have lunch together, ah? I realized I was out of luck. When I went back that day, I had a drink with my best friend. The more I drank, the more I got drunk. Why do you think he doesn't like me? My girlfriends pressed against me. You don't know what your brother is like. It's not surprising that he would like you. Perhaps because I was in pain. She gave me a suggestion. Send a message to your friends to test the waters. And if you don't get a reaction, then it's bye-bye. I grabbed the straw that saved my life and gave her my cell phone. "Help me." My best friend took it, put her head down, and threw it to me. "I'll wait for it." I opened the circle of friends to see. "Help. What should I do if I'm pregnant?" Underneath was a picture of a pregnancy test, visible only to him. I raised my eyes slyly and gritted my teeth. I haven't done anything out of the ordinary with him. My best friend's expression went blank. "Ah. You didn't say that earlier." I was like a thunderbolt. "This is completely finished." The ringtone vibrated. The name Liam Carter popped up on the screen. My best friend was ecstatic. "Look. It's coming. It's coming." I carefully picked up the phone. The bottom of my breath. "Hello. Whose baby is it?" Liam Carter's tone was rare and cold. I stammered. "What does it have to do with you?" A punk just sat next to me and asked playfully. "Sister. There is no one to accompany you. How about buying you a drink?" The voice on the other end gave a beat and asked. "Where is it?" My best friend replied in a second. 48, South Street. Blaze Bar. The voice on the other end of the line was angry even as it was being put down. I was dumbfounded. What's going on here? Why does he seem to be more angry than my brother? On the last night of the weekend, I was let out of the bar by Liam Carter like a schoolboy. I'd had a few drinks and was walking shakily, throwing my arms around Liam Carter. "Brother. Like you." He was glowing with cold air. Didn't say a word. From my viewpoint, all I could see was a tight jawline. He took me, who was a mess, and walked across the street corner to the bottom of the house. Suddenly, my brother pushes open the door. Cross-eyed. "Let go of my sister." Liam Carter's feet lurched, his eyes cold as knives. "Get out." My brother got annoyed and rushed over to Liam Carter, yanking him by the collar. "What's your attitude? Did I tell you not to touch my sister?" I staggered to pull his arm, but my brother threw me off and I spun around, crashing into a streetlight pole. There was a bang. There was a loud bang. For the next 10 minutes, I sat in the back of Liam Carter's car with a large bag on my forehead, holding a plastic bag and vomiting furiously. "Brother. Drive slowly." Vomit. My brother sat in the passenger seat with a cold face. Liam Carter drove towards the hospital in silence. I was probably concussed. The sky was spinning. In the middle of the night, I was taken into the emergency exam room by Liam Carter. The doctor in the emergency department glanced at Liam Carter and smiled. "Yo. Mister. When? Bringing your girlfriend to the doctor?" Liam Carter's thin lips pursed, speaking clearly and logically. "She's been drinking and hit her head on a pole on the way here. So please open the checklist and I'll take her in for a checkup." I staggered and grabbed his arm, only to feel how tall he was. My brother's voice suddenly came from behind me. It was ghostly, as if a demon had crawled out of hell. "Emma Thompson. Who's the father?" With a jolt, I sobered up a good portion of my drink and turned back to meet my brother's grim face and the unlocked cell phone he was holding up. I've never had a password on my cell phone screen. The circle of friends, visible only to Liam Carter, sent a shockwave through my brother. I immediately retorted, "No. I'm not pregnant." The next moment, my brother suddenly turned on Liam Carter. Like a dog in a losing battle, he rolled up his sleeves and punched him. "You fucking slept with my sister?" Everyone around us was dumbfounded. These two are some of the hospital's most famous seniors. Who doesn't love a fight between high achievers? Liam Carter's face was knocked off center, and the imprints of his fists quickly surfaced on his pale skin. He leaned against the consultation table and hissed softly, suddenly cracking a cold smile. I had a bad feeling in my heart, only to see Liam Carter, who had always been indifferent to me, suddenly grab my hand and yank it over to wrap it around me. Staring condescendingly at my brother, he slowly said, "The child is mine. Do you have a problem with that?" Because of the concussion, I was admitted to the brain surgery department where Liam Carter was working. When the nurse was arranging the admission, she asked me with a nosy face, What is your relationship with Dr. When? I thought for a moment and bravely replied. I'm chasing him. Then you have a lot of competition. There are many beautiful women in our hospital who covet Dr. When? Especially Dr. Sue. Who just came to the hospital this year. Sophia Miller? I hung my head in disappointment. My brother interrupted our conversation with an old-fashioned voice. I'm her family member. Erase my contact information. The nurse's eyes lit up. You're Mr. Tang from outside the heart. Right? My brother was born with a pair of peach blossom eyes. Removing the nature that even dogs hate. His appearance is still passable. When Liam Carter came out of the office, my brother was having a friendly conversation with someone. He stood a short distance away and said, "No one is allowed in here. Get out." My brother cocked his head, hung back, and gave a sarcastic smile. I'm a hospital employee. You stay out of it. Liam Carter walks over to us after a brief moment of silence. Poised and calm. Under my brother's menacing gaze, he lifted my chin. And while checking the trauma, he said, "Call security and ask Dr. Tang to leave." On his own turf, Liam Carter still had the right to speak. My brother was dragged all the way by the security uncle. Growling all the way. Liam Carter. Try fucking touching her. Liam Carter smiled warmly. Don't worry. I'll take care of my sister for you well. The noisy hospital room finally quieted down. I was a little nervous. Liam Carter glanced at me and said, "Come with me." Oh. It just happened to be his night shift tonight. Just as he entered the room, Liam Carter closed the door. The room was silent. I was instantly nervous. Liam Carter, in his white coat, leaned against the table and said faintly, "Come closer." He was tall. His face white and cold in the cold light of the lamp. The shirt was buttoned meticulously below the knot of his throat. The white coat covered a powerfully thin waist. I stepped dutifully into the shadows in front of him, head bowed, and felt Liam Carter's sharp, serious gaze falling over my head through the gold-tinted frames of his eyeglasses. "Do you want the baby? Huh?" He scanned the small of my back. "I'm the only one visible. Don't you want me to help you?" My face quickly reddened. "No. I'm kidding. Not pregnant." Liam Carter's eyelids fluttered. "Just kidding? Emma Thompson. That's funny?" I was on the verge of tears. I didn't post it. My best friend said it could be used. It's so hard to say the rest. Liam Carter was like, "For what?" My ears burned red. My voice was like a mosquito fly. "Used for you. To capture." The air around me froze. "Lust for you." Liam Carter suddenly snorted out a laugh. "You've got a lot of nerve." The sound was like a fine breeze blowing past my ears on a spring day. He slightly lowered his head. Close to me. A pair of black eyes deadlocked me. Some unknown sentiment in the bottom of the eyes seems to immediately devour me. "Your brother and I. We are enemies. Guess what I will do to you?" The faint smell of sterilized water suddenly became extremely aggressive. I was so nervous that my palms became sweaty and my voice trembled. "Don't hit me. I'll really cry." It was the first time Liam Carter turned to me and smiled a devilishly gentle smile. "Be good. Rub my wound." I had an iodine swab shoved into my hand. Liam Carter sat in his chair and tilted his head back, exposing the corner of his mouth that had been bruised by my brother. "From now on you're going to have to come once your brother hits me, Emma Thompson. I'm all about seeing sincerity." We leaned in close because of the medication. He opened his legs so that I was standing between his two long legs. Shallow breath brushed against my index finger, tickling it like a feather. Yellow waste begins to inexplicably bubble in my head. And I glanced downward uncontrollably, darting away just in time to meet Liam Carter at eye level. With a piercing look, he warned me. "Emma Thompson. Look at the face." But I can't even look at my face. Losing ground to his aggressive gaze. Eventually falling away. Behind me, the sound of conversation from the nurse's station comes faintly. "I'm afraid that little girl in bed 301 has wasted her efforts." 301. Isn't that me? Dr. Wynne and Sophia Miller are a perfect match. When he went to college, the Sue family paid for his tuition. They say he's the arranged fiancé of the Sue family. When I was in high school, I used to secretly transfer holiday cash to Liam Carter's bank card. But it was returned. Liam Carter still hates our family. He was just teasing me. For the next few days, I deliberately avoided Liam Carter. I couldn't even talk to him. He was busy, operating one surgery after another. And he didn't see me. My injuries were minor and I was discharged within a few days. My brother picked me up in his car and said, "Don't think he's a nice guy. Don't think he's a nice guy. His parents are divorced and he lives with his aunt. Like a cold-blooded animal. I don't care about anyone else. As long as you're my sister. You can't be with him. That's because his aunt is mean to him. She beats him and scolds him. My family is neighbors with Liam Carter's aunt. Everyone in the neighborhood knows that. My mom took pity on him and used to call me to bring Liam Carter some health food. But Liam Carter shunned me. I didn't listen to a word my brother said. I looked out the window and fell into sadness. I really wanted to give up. The next few days were a complete letdown. If my mom hadn't sent me a box of dried shrimp and asked me to send part of it to Liam Carter, I would never have dared to see him again. With trepidation, I knocked on his door. It was a day off and he happened to be in, wearing a casual sweater. His demeanor is lazy and wanton. No glasses. Less sharp and serious. "What's the matter?" Still a short inquiry. I picked up the plastic bag, wilted and said, "My mom sent me dried shrimp. Asked me to bring you." He lowered his eyes and looked at the red plastic bag that he had carried all the way to the distortion. Took it. And faintly said, "Thank you. If you don't like it, just throw it away." I touched my nose. Then, "I'll go back." "Wait." Liam Carter scowled at me. "Did your brother scold you?" I looked up. "No." He frowned and stepped aside from the door. "Come in." I didn't know what he was letting me in for. But my legs went in uncontrollably. "Sit wherever you like." With those words, Liam Carter went to the kitchen and in a few moments tossed me a basket of snacks. "Want to watch some TV? Huh?" Patient callbacks. He naturally takes a seat on the other couch, checking to see if your brain is functioning properly. Oh. Good. I watched the TV show seriously. It wasn't long before the heat broke out into a sweat. The temperature was a bit high. He turned on the air conditioner. There was also a cup of finished cold medicine on the table. As an afterthought, I said, "You have a cold?" Liam Carter leaned back on the couch with his eyes closed and responded wanly, "No problem. It's not a big problem. Keep watching and go back when your brother works the night shift." With that, he covered himself with a blanket. It turned out that he thought Ethan Thompson and I had a falling out. And he was afraid that I would be bullied by Ethan Thompson when I got home. I snuck a glance and realized that he was too sick to look like anyone could care. So I quietly got up and went into the kitchen. When it was dark outside, I padded over to Liam Carter with a bowl of millet porridge. He was asleep, breathing evenly. Long, slender lashes casting shadows on his face. It seemed so much gentler. I wanted to reach out and touch him when Liam Carter suddenly opened his eyes. My face is reflected in the black pupils. I jerked my hand back and stared at him cautiously. "Why haven't you left yet?" Liam Carter's voice is a little muffled. "It's so good to hear. I made you some porridge. Do you want some?" Liam Carter's dark eyes stared at me. Half the time he didn't say anything. "Emma Thompson. You've got some nerve." He exhaled heavily and lifted his eyelids. "You're not afraid I'll bully you if you don't leave when it gets dark?" I set my bowl aside and swore. "You won't." Liam Carter is on the same page as my brother. But he's pretty polite to me. And I'm not stupid. After all these years, don't I understand a person's character? Do you? Liam Carter laughed out softly and suddenly yanked my wrist and pulled me over. I was caught off guard and fell on top of him. Big hands pressed tightly on my backside. His hot breath pounding in my ear. Liam Carter sneers. Is that what your brother taught you? My heart beats like a drum. Mouth and lips dry. Competitiveness is suddenly aroused. And I can't believe I can't take him anymore. Do it if you can. I'm Emma Thompson. I'm a man of action. I'm a man of time. If you can't do it, I'll find someone else. After a brief silence, the last vestiges of Liam Carter's smile disappeared. Well, that's what you said. The sound of the lute outside the window blew slowly and lazily into the room along the curtains. I sit on his lap, head bowed. My mermaid lines clearly recognizable beneath my palms. He had a cold and his ears were flushed with red. A look of having been bullied. It gave the impression that I had taken advantage of the situation. I leaned in close to him, feeling the hot breath on the base of my ears and neck. The tingling flew and extended to my back. It quickly called me to soften my back. Emma, know how much I hate Ethan Thompson. Why can't you be as bad for me as he is? His eyes filled with a rich inky color. His low voice colored by the night. Like a demon soberly coaxing the world to sink. Because I like you. He probably didn't know that in high school. The strawberry milk on his desk every day at noon was from me. The comment was rewarded with a retaliation. A retaliatory bite from Liam Carter on my earlobe, which was rewarded with a gasp. It pays to like it. I squeeze his shoulders. Who's afraid? A low chuckle comes from Liam Carter in my ear. And with each breath, he elicits a deeper shiver from me. His long, slender fingers that excel at wielding a knife will always have a knack for mesmerizing people. Emma, you're too small. His voice was close to my ear, rolling hot air over the tip of my ear and blowing my hair. It's really hot. I want some water. Well, I'll give you a drink in a minute. I was like a fish depleted on the shore. My clothes loose. My mouth open helplessly as I gasped for air. Liam Carter, on the other hand, was fully clothed, except for the glass of the watch dial, which refracted ambiguous light with the flick of his wrist. The air was getting hotter and hotter. Outside the window, the lute sounded like a pearl rolling on a jade plate, clanging and orderly. In the silence of the late night, playing a rhythmic music. I leaned limply against him, my 5 fingers clutching his shirt in a crumpled grip. Liam Carter. Me. His vision grew darker and darker. I couldn't hear anything else. At some searing high point, the rousing strings came to a screeching halt. Like a silver bottle breaking. The aftermath is long. I buried my face in his arms. My ears burning red. Liam Carter kisses my ear and laughs at my unconscious hand on his belt. More? Emma. It wouldn't be so simple if it was for Real. I looked up at him with wet eyes. What's back there? Liam Carter's throat rolled. What do you think? The words were interrupted by a shrill ringing phone. The rich ambiguity was startled in all directions. In a panic I planted my head and almost fell off the couch. Liam Carter catches me with a quick eye and picks up the phone in the same position he just held me. I saw the word Sophia Miller on the screen and my eyes darkened. Sure enough. The next second her voice came out with panic and helplessness. Jingchu. Help me. Liam Carter's eyes regained their clarity. His temperament solemn. What's wrong? I knowingly organized myself and sat far away, hanging my head and playing with my nails. Then I heard Liam Carter return. Okay. Got it. I'll be right there. Hanging up the phone, he told me. Emma. Get dressed. Oh. I slowly got up and straightened my clothes. I thought to myself. It's only been a few minutes and you've already changed your mind. Liam Carter came over and pulled out a tissue and wiped me off. Listen to me. I don't want to hear it. Liam Carter looked stunned. You know something happened to your brother? What? He frowned, wiping away my tears. Your brother is in the hospital. It's not life-threatening, but he got hit by a wheel and needs surgery. I was dumbfounded. Until I was brought to the hospital. Looking at Ethan Thompson's face pale with pain. Unable to say a word. I suddenly broke down in tears. Holding his hand and bawling. Brother. I don't want you to die. Ethan Thompson coughed weakly. Roll. Sophia Miller's eyes were red. You're sick. What are you doing scolding Emma? Ethan Thompson has changed his nature. His mouth doesn't stink anymore. And he is as honest as a winter melon. The three of us watched Ethan Thompson enter the operating room. Sophia Miller stroked my head like a child. Emma. Don't worry. Your brother is fine. Before she finished her sentence, she cried first. I then realized that her hands were cold, without a trace of warmth. What happened? Liam Carter asked. Sophia Miller took the tissue I handed her and wiped her tears. Sounding sultry. I was on a date with the two of us. And he had to buy me a strawberry tart. When the city police came, the owner pushed the cart over his feet. Dating? I seem to have lost my mind. Or maybe Sophia Miller doesn't speak human. Surprisingly, I didn't react to the intricacies of her, Liam Carter, and my brother's relationship for a full minute. Sophia Miller stared at me with some embarrassment. Emma, I have been chasing your brother for years, and only recently got together. I was dumbfounded. Liam Carter behind me hummed softly. Something like a snort. As if to say that someone like Ethan Thompson could be liked. Sophia Miller wiped her eyes. Excuse me. I'm going to the restroom. She left. And Liam Carter and I were the only ones left in the hallway. I hesitated for a long moment and looked up. And he just happened to look over as well. Immediately, my face reddened in spite of myself. What's your relationship with Sophia Miller? I asked bluntly. Her parents are my sponsors. Liam Carter said succinctly. And am her parents' preferred son-in-law. Oh. I bit my lip and lowered my head again. Suddenly, my chin is lifted by Liam Carter. A faint smile tugged at the corners of his mouth. Not very sincere? That's why you don't like it. You are someone's son-in-law. Why should I chase? I sulked. Do I look like the kind of good guy who gives his life for you? He asked rhetorically. I froze. Liam Carter looked at my brother, who had been wheeled out of the operating room, and a smile slowly crept into his eyes. I prefer revenge to retribution. Like kissing Ethan Thompson's sister in front of him. My heart skipped a beat as I met the suddenly enlarged face in front of me. Liam Carter. Get the fuck off of me. My brother's trembling voice came from the side. Like a winded old man. Liam Carter held the position. Didn't move. And kissed me on the forehead as he stared at me in a jagged rage. My brother choked and gasped. While Ethan Thompson was hospitalized. Sophia Miller came over every day after work. He didn't dare to breathe in front of Sophia Miller. Because Sophia Miller has a lot of experience in chasing people. I started to learn from her. Sophia Miller handed me a carton of hot milk. Pulled out a chair. Sat down and sighed. Jingchu. I don't really know what kind of girls he likes. He's too good at creating good feelings. No one doesn't like him. But only those who are close to him know. This man is like a robot with little emotion. Constantly studying. Doing research. And when he's working, he's also constantly doing surgeries and picking up patients. She cocked her head. Maybe he's not naturally too keen on male-female relationships. I don't like that anyway. If he hadn't known Ethan Thompson so well, I wouldn't have bothered with him. I mourned. Vivian. I even paid him back in the day. And he didn't take. Is it out of the question? Sophia Miller bit the straw and thought for a moment. Maybe. He just doesn't get the hang of it. You try those tricks of mine again. She grabbed me by the ear and muttered for a long time. When Liam Carter drove me home that day, I clutched my seatbelt and said, Can I come sit at your house? He looked ahead at the crowded traffic with pale eyes for a moment before saying, What do you want to eat tonight? That was a tacit acceptance. I ordered a few dishes haphazardly and stayed distracted. Liam Carter had bought the groceries and was busy in the kitchen. I held my strawberry milk and stared at his back. The light filtered through the blinds and hit Liam Carter's shoulders. A warm yellow. When I was in middle school, I would often meet Liam Carter in front of my house, sitting in the hallway. He was in high school and his face was always bruised. Sometimes there would be an argument between his aunt and her husband just outside the door. Something along the lines of, Liam Carter is a drag. He's got no parents. He's got no manners. And he'd sit there in the sunset with his book in his hand. Eyelashes downcast. As if he couldn't hear a thing. I told my mom in secret. And she gave me an extra portion of rice to give to Liam Carter. For the first time, Liam Carter said to me, "Go away." It made me cry. Ethan Thompson heard me and took Liam Carter and beat him up again. Then I quietly set the food on a nearby windowsill. I hid away from him to make sure he was finished before I left. I always hoped that one day in the future, he would have a better life. Now, he has his own home. Has a decent job. Clothed and fed. My wish has come true. A moment later, Liam Carter came out with the food. Squirrel fish. Sweet and sour pork. Noodles and oil. Liam Carter wore an apron. His shirt pulled up to his arms. His muscles sleek. What else do you want? I stared stupidly at the table of hard dishes. Did you really do it all? You do not want to eat? Enough. I can't eat it all. Liam Carter served me a big bowl full of rice and sat down across from me. He was a really good cook. But I had something on my mind and couldn't stuff myself after half a bowl. Don't like the taste? He asked. No. Love it. I kept my head down. Took a few more bites. And finally relented under his scrutiny. Can I stay at your place tonight? The words left my mouth and I wanted to bite my tongue off. Sophia Miller clearly told me to be subtle. Why did she just say it? Liam Carter's hand lurched and he said without thinking. No. But I'm really scared of thunder. I said carefully. There are thunderstorms tonight. Facing my pitiful eyes. Liam Carter's words of refusal clogged in his throat. And he averted his eyes with a feigned calmness. You can have the bed. I'll take the couch. Okay. This is the first time I've spent the night in someone else's house. At 8 o'clock in the evening, I stood in the bathroom doorway and looked at Liam Carter pitifully. There's no change of clothes. Liam Carter throws a new shirt in my face. Just put it on. It's pouring outside and there's no delivery man. Everything was going according to Sophia Miller's plan. Smoothly. I stayed in the bathroom until the lights went out outside. Then I put on my shirt and furtively pushed the door open. An ethereal mist dispersed from the bathroom. The air became humid. With a flimsy white bath towel over my head, I searched the living room for any sign of Liam Carter. There was only a comforter on the couch and no one in sight. I was already nervous. But this was even more so as I messaged Sophia Miller in a panic. He's gone. Ran away? Well. We sister. He's not. Not into women. Is he? Sophia Miller sent a serious face emoticon. Has he touched you yet? In principle. Not really. No. Haven't touched. Sophia Miller was silent for half a day and sent a voiceover. Girl. You have to be prepared. Liam Carter is old and hasn't had a girlfriend. Either he doesn't like women. Or he just can't do it. My cell phone, coincidentally, was on external playback. The volume was still at maximum. Sophia Miller's voice echoed through the room. My entire body was dumbfounded in place. The neon outside the window turned a dazzling white, outlining the tall silhouette of the man leaning on the balcony. He leaned against the windowsill, cocking his head and staring lazily at me. I held up my cell phone. Silent opposite Liam Carter, who was a few steps away. Emma. Come here. Liam Carter called out to me. I shivered in fear and hid my phone quickly. Am not the one who said. Click. The balcony window slammed shut. Liam Carter stepped away and closed in on me. I panic and take a few steps back, hitting the wall and retreating. Liam Carter easily locks my hand with my cell phone, snatching it up and casually tossing it on the dining room table. The smell of shampoo and disinfectant wraps around me. I'm 5 years older than you. Which does make me a little old. Liam Carter ruffles my wet, crunchy hair. His tone hushed. Never had a girlfriend and don't like men. My heart was beating fast. The sound of my veins pulsing in my ears. So. Who do you like then? The clock in the corner ticks, teasing my fragile, sensitive nerves. Liam Carter gags me in the corner and suddenly snorts. Who do you think I like? He cupped my chin, forcing me to meet him eye to eye. I've wanted you since the first time I saw you. He leaned in close to his ear and said 2 words. My legs went weak and I slid into his arms. Liam Carter was like a wolf with his sheepskin ripped off at the moment, finally showing his hungry fangs. You. He rubbed my earwig, his tone soft. Where else would you want to run to with my shirt on? You did it on purpose. My voice was like a fly. You guessed right. The lamb is cleaned before it's ready for the pot. He seals my words with a blazing kiss, slowly teasing at first. As I festered, he pressed the back of my head and flicked the tip of his tongue across the upper teeth chamber. Teasing and tantalizing. He was so bad. Fingers moved a little along the hollow of my back, to the back of my neck, kneading gently. I turned into a puddle of mud, climbing softly around Liam Carter's neck. He picks me up. Let's go to the bedroom. I was thrown into the bed, just ready for the storm when Liam Carter took the covers and wrapped them around me, pulling away me. He slowly fastened the buttons and said softly, "Good night." Then he closed the door behind me without looking back. I was so angry I yelled, "Liam Carter, are you no good?" when I woke up from my nap. It was close to noon. I wrenched open the door to find the rich smell of dinner wafting through the house. Liam Carter was standing in the kitchen with his back turned. Hearing the commotion, he turned around and gave me a deep look. "Wash your hands for dinner." Suddenly, the doorbell rang. Liam Carter said, "I think it's your change of clothes. Wrap up tight and open the door." Oh. I ran and opened the door. It wasn't a delivery boy. Instead, it was a middle-aged couple with gray hair. When they saw me, they looked at me blankly and then said, "This is my son's house. Who are you?" Liam Carter heard the commotion and came out of the kitchen, not even thinking to speak. "Emma, come to me." Oh. I could already guess who was coming. Liam Carter shields me and asks in a tone of utter indifference, "What are you doing here?" The middle-aged woman shouted in a shrill voice, "My son bought a house. Can't I come and stay?" The man didn't even change his shoes. He stomped on the carpet. "Good for you. You've made a fortune and you still don't know how to honor your parents. If I hadn't tried to find out, I wouldn't have known you'd become a doctor. You made us look for you. Who do you think you are?" Liam Carter laughed disdainfully. The atmosphere in the living room was instantly tense. The middle-aged couple became angry. "We're your parents. We'll sue you in court for not supporting your parents. When you threw me to my aunt, why didn't you think that I would honor you?" Liam Carter sneered. "You've got 3 seconds to get out of here. You're a conscienceless bastard. You're better off as a dog." It was hard for me to hear. I thought of Liam Carter being dragged to the end of an alley by his aunt many years ago. His mom and dad were just as nasty as they are today. "You're his aunt. We're unemployed and on the dole. Don't expect to push this bargain on us." His aunt was furious and shouted, "Scoundrels! Your whole family are vampires. Leeches." I don't know where I got the courage to drag Liam Carter behind me and start cursing. "You're the ones who didn't raise him. And I don't know who lost their conscience." His mother was so irritated that she sat on the floor and bawled, "You've forgotten your mother after you married her. Come and see. You don't get to talk here." His father picked up the vase on the table and threw it at me. Liam Carter was quick and turned to hold me. The vase shattered on the tabletop, and the shards of porcelain that flew off cut Liam Carter's face. Blood flowed instantly. I was shielded in his arms, intact. The noise quickly attracted the surrounding neighbors and someone called the police. The 2 men, seeing that they had made a scene, left in disgrace. A mess was left. I patted him on the back, my own voice shaking as soon as I opened my mouth. "Don't be afraid. They're gone." Liam Carter dropped his eyes and stroked my hair aimlessly. "Emma." He called out to me and didn't say anything for a long time after that. Instead he hugged me, burying his face in the crook of my neck. A wetness. I moved my head and said, "You're bleeding on your face. Can I put some medicine on it? Emma Thompson. You knew it all along. Knew what? My past and where I came from and my terrible life. He hugged me tight. So why do you like me? It's going to be hard. My voice was muffled. There's no such thing as a wife for liking. No one liked me before you. I raised my face into a small smile. Then you're pretty happy to have been liked by someone for 10 years. Ethan Thompson didn't even have that. Liam Carter's eyes flickered, hiding his emotions. Hey. Aren't you touched? Uh-huh. He closes the door and gathers up the broken pieces of china before turning back to me and picking me up in one arm and placing me on the dining room table. Bracing his arms at his sides. He kissed me earnestly. Emma. I love you. I wrapped my arms around his neck. Sweating from the heat. Do you need to put medicine on your wound? He stroked my hair and buried his face deep into the crook of my neck. Emma. I love you. Liam Carter and I didn't plan on going public in front of my brother in order for him to heal well. Ethan Thompson started to raise his eyebrows and make snide remarks every time he saw me and Liam Carter. Yo. Old man can't find a girlfriend anymore. He's starting to cheat on little girls. Emma Thompson. Watch out for abductions. I kept my head down and peeled him a pear. Liam Carter leaned in front of the hospital bed and said. I've asked Director Lee. He'll be discharged tomorrow. Are you okay? My brother gave him a skeptical look. Turned? Liam Carter had a light smile on his lips. Caring for the elders. My brother rolled his eyes at him and turned to Sophia Miller with a frown. When did you say you were going to dinner with your aunt and uncle? The day after tomorrow. She gave Liam Carter and I a sly look. And you too. Huh? Why me? Sophia Miller smiled mysteriously. Don't ask so many questions. Just go with Jing Chu. On Friday evening, I met Sophia Miller's parents, who were also Liam Carter's sponsors. It turns out her family is so rich. Papa Sue didn't look too good. And he didn't speak politely. Wei. Your life event is a bit hasty. You don't want the person we chose for you. But you choose someone else. My brother took Sophia Miller's hand. Uncle. I'm in a free relationship with Wei. We have a house and a car. And a stable income. You can rest assured. This is the first time I've seen my brother look reliable. Sophia Miller's mom and dad looked at each other in a euphemistic tone. Wei. We thought you were joking. So we took it upon ourselves to invite Jinka's parents over. As soon as the words fell, Liam Carter's mom and dad pushed open the door of the private room. In-laws. We can finally meet. The atmosphere of the scene became a bit heavy all of a sudden. Liam Carter frowned slightly and held my hand tightly. Uncle and Auntie. I have a girlfriend. Thank you for your love. Wei and I are just friends. My brother's eyes widened first. Staring straight at me. My eyes dodged and I slowly shrank behind Liam Carter. You kid. How do you talk? Liam Carter's dad retorted instantly. You and Vivi are made for each other. This is my personal matter. None of your business. His father slammed the table and stood up. His face red with anger. You brat. How do you talk to your old man? Liam Carter ignored him and instead looked to Sophia Miller's parents. Courteously. Auntie and uncle. I'm sure you've seen this situation in my family. I have nothing to do with them. I'll decide the marriage myself. No. The marriage must be finalized today. Liam Carter's mom screamed at the top of her lungs and grabbed Liam Carter. Get out of there. The scene was chaotic. Liam Carter got up coldly and followed his parents out. We were left staring at each other. Emma Thompson. What's your deal? I said carefully in the face of my brother's questioning. I'm with him. Sophia Miller's parents lost their minds for a moment and asked me. Little girl. Are you Jinka's girlfriend? Yes. I've liked him for years. Sophia Miller's mom sighed. Forget it. Lao Su. A strong twisted melon is not sweet. Liam Carter didn't come back until dinner was over. I snuck out when Ethan Thompson wasn't looking. I found Liam Carter by the flower bed outside the hotel. He was leaning against the wall, tugged by his dad's collar, smiling contemptuously. Wengue. If you don't have money, go ask your adopted son for it. Don't you want to be rich and famous with someone? His mom burst into tears. We didn't mean to throw you away. Not on purpose? Liam Carter laughed out coldly. For the sake of your adopted son. Abandon your own son. Dislike the poor and love the rich. What? Your adopted son found his real parents and forgot about you. These words poked Dad's pain. He swung a fist over. And a red mark appeared on Liam Carter's face. Fine. If you don't pay, it'll go to your little girlfriend. She has to honor her future in-laws. Liam Carter's smile tightened and he squeezed his shoulder, pressing it hard against the wall. Try looking for her. His father laughed in a raspy voice. Scared? Last time I saw you scared was when you were in high school. That girl isn't your girlfriend. Is she? Liam Carter's knuckles were all white. His forehead veins were showing. And his face was gloomy. So it was obvious how much strength he had used. I suddenly remembered the day I got out of junior high school. I was stopped by a strange uncle asking for money. He said he knew Liam Carter. I gave him the money and he let Liam Carter marry me. He didn't seem like a nice guy. The money was for Liam Carter to buy strawberry milk. So I didn't give it to him. So he came and grabbed it. He was pulled away by the police. I was so shocked that I huddled in the corner and cried all the time. When my brother arrived, my lips were white with fear. Liam Carter stood not far away and looked at me for a long time before he left. After that, he became colder and colder to me. I thought he didn't want anything to do with me because he didn't like me. I didn't realize it was because of his parents. Liam Carter stared his dad dead in the face and finally his voice hissed. How much do you owe? $2 million. He closed his eyes and finally gave in. Fine. I'll pay you in installments. You don't mess with her. His parents left. It was drizzling. Liam Carter was by himself, standing by the flower bed, not knowing what to think. I accidentally stepped on a dead branch and Liam Carter looked up. A pair of black eyes surged with emotions I couldn't understand. And he didn't say anything for a long time. I don't know why. But I suddenly wanted to cry. I walked up to Liam Carter and raised my face to ask. Do you want to marry me? His dark pupils trembled and fell to despair. Emma, I am carrying a debt of more than $2 million. So that means you don't want to marry me. Right? I sobbed. You don't want to be with me because of your parents. Liam Carter hugged me tightly. Emma, don't cry. Don't do this because of me. That time he came looking for you. It scared me. I don't want you to be in any danger. Just give me some time. Okay? I'll fix it. The neon lights on the side of the road went out and darkness engulfed the surroundings. Liam Carter yanked me into the rafters. Emma, go back first. Your brother's waiting for you. Through the rain, I saw Ethan Thompson, umbrella in hand, standing on the opposite side of the bush, looking wordlessly at Liam Carter. Two lines of sight intertwined in the air. Swords drawn. Liam Carter takes my hand and walks along the roof to his side. My brother sulked. Emma, she's young and doesn't know any better. But you should know that I don't like your parents and will never let Emma have any contact with them. Even if you are trustworthy. Both in character and talent. I know. Liam Carter's dark hair was in strands from the rain. And for the first time he didn't choke on my brother. We'll come back to Emma after I get everything sorted out. Well, if you can't do that, don't come see her. Liam Carter looked at me deeply, rubbed my head, took his jacket off, draped it over me, and turned to leave. My brother dragged me home and ordered me not to contact Liam Carter. Summer arrived, and the little studio I ran began to get busy. I deliberately didn't think about Liam Carter. I even stopped communicating on Twitter. Sophia Miller and my brother got engaged. And Mom and Dad came all the way from D-Town to plan the engagement party. In July, the city cracked a large-scale mass gambling case and arrested many people. At noon that day, my brother called me to the hospital. Go and deliver the candies for me. Where? Brain surgery. I stood there for half a day with the candy in my hand. And when I saw him holding a box of strawberry milk in his mouth, I asked. Where did you get it? Liam Carter. He smacked his lips. You don't say. This stuff is delicious. No wonder when I went to school. I stole his milk. I always get beaten up. A big man. Like what, strawberry milk? Hey. I'm not finished yet. Where are you going? I carried the candy to the office door. Thought for a moment. And then walked back and kicked Ethan Thompson in the calf. He wailed. Emma Thompson. You murdered your own brother. I shouted with a stern face. You're despicable. Thief. I said and ran out in a huff. Here I came to the brain surgery ward. The nurses inside knew me. Emma. Come to see Dr. When? Yes. Sis. I'm here to deliver the candies. What a coincidence. He's gone into surgery. Do you want to wait? I put the candies on the table. Oh. I have something to do. So we'll leave first. I also brought one for you. Welcome to my brother's wedding banquet. The nurse sisters looked at each other. And suddenly flocked up with enthusiasm. Emma. Your nails are so pretty. Where did you get them done? Where did you get your hair dyed? Give me the address. I was pushed all the way into the office. And before I knew it, a fruit cutlet was shoved into my hand. Emma. Eat before you go. They then closed the door behind me. What am I? Being locked up for? I was too embarrassed to let them down. But I didn't want Liam Carter to think I was being too uptight. So I desperately tried to stuff fruit into my mouth to finish and leave early. When Liam Carter came in, I was stuffed like a hamster. Looking at him innocently. Liam Carter's hand closing the door gave a lurch. His dark eyes landed firmly on me. His tone was soft. Emma. Is something wrong? Seeing him again after a month. My heart is still thumping uncontrollably. I desperately swallowed my fruit. Put down the fruit plate. Stood up and I came to deliver invitations to my brother. They invited me to eat fruit. As I finished, my eyes suddenly glanced at the cover of the fruit cutout and there was a label with Liam Carter's name on it. I ate his share. Liam Carter obviously saw it too. And the corner of his mouth curved. As if he didn't want to scare me. He whispered softly. It's okay. Eat it. There's more if you don't have enough. I have to go. I just took 2 steps. Liam Carter suddenly took out strawberry milk and shoved it into my hand. Drink some milk before you go. Oh. Thanks. Before the words left my mouth, a new fruit cut was placed in front of me. Liam Carter calmly pulled out a tissue. Keep eating. It's not a good idea to leave now. So I sit back down again. Squeezing my little fork and hesitantly eating my fruit. Liam Carter sits across from me. Where I can see him. Tapping away at his computer. The smell of disinfectant water quickly permeates the office. The fan overhead creaked and blew warm air that made it a little smoky. I ate and ate and ate. And every time I tried to say I'm leaving, Liam Carter would suddenly get busy and make it impossible for me to interrupt. By the end of the shift, I was too braced to walk. And I slumped over my desk to take a nap. Suddenly, the top of my head was touched. Emma. Off duty. I looked up in a daze and grunted. Ah. Great. I should get going. After that I stood up dizzily. Liam Carter took my arm. What do you want to eat tonight? Coconut chicken. By the time I was fully awake, I was in Liam Carter's car. I hurriedly flicked on my cell phone and Ethan Thompson didn't even fart. As if had disappeared. I realized something. They all seemed to be in cahoots. I look out the window at the pedestrians in a bemused manner. And then at Liam Carter. Staring out at his hands as they fall on the steering wheel. A sudden flash of that night burned through my mind. Emma. Liam Carter's voice suddenly pulls me back into my thoughts. My parents. It's settled. Settled? Yeah. They won't be bothering us anymore. I looked at Liam Carter with some uncertainty as I remembered the huge gambling case on the news. Liam Carter holds the steering wheel and turns onto the side street, slowly pulling over to the curb. I don't have a family that's good enough for you. So for the past 10 years, even as the thought of having you for myself grew stronger, I was ready to see you married. It was getting a little darker and the street lights were still on. In the dim light of the car, Liam Carter's eyes burned hot as he looked at me. Emma. For the last time? If you hang in there, I'll do what your brother did and get you married, he said. His tone is calm, but his tight grip on the steering wheel reveals his tense emotions. I clutched my skirt tightly and whispered, "Don't." Liam Carter's breath catches and he asks softly, "Emma, what did you say?" I said I don't want it. I only like you and I want to marry you. Liam Carter clutches my hand violently, his tone burning. Think about it. I cupped his cheek and kissed him sideways. Liam Carter stiffened and quickly turned against me, hoisting my waist and lifting me violently, yanking me onto his lap. The car's horn was honked to a long blast. I cringed in fear. And Liam Carter didn't give me a chance to hide. Bulldozing in, not even giving me time to catch my breath. Drawing on my senses in an almost overbearing way. Even biting my lips. The thoughts that stretched for a long time completely exploded at this moment. The temperature inside the car rose rapidly. Low and rapid breathing. One after the other. My eyes overflowed with physical tears and my voice was hoarse. Brother. I love you. Liam Carter stifled a grunt. His forehead against mine. Don't yell like that. I was vindictive. Sensing his abnormality. And grunted and shouted again. Getting a slap on the backside in return. Shut up if you don't want to suffer. He tried to kiss again. Which I dodged with a laugh. Liam Carter. You're going to be punished for breaking my heart for so long. Good. Liam Carter's voice is husky. His eyes always glued to my face. And he raises his neck, revealing the sexy knot in his throat. A look of being at my disposal. Suddenly enlightened, I buried my head and carefully unbuckled his belt. Shaking it off. Scared? A hint of a smile reflected in the bottom of Liam Carter's eyes. Afraid. I tied both of his hands. Then moved my claws to his shirt. Undoing the first button. Emma. Shut up. I barked at him fiercely. No talking. I blew on the knot of his throat. Blowing. And in return Liam Carter gulped. His breath messed up. What did you give my brother to eat? He closed his eyes. He owes me. I got him a date with Sophia Miller. So he had been planning this for a long time. Second question. Why don't you want my money? Because I like you. And I don't want to turn into a debtor and debtor relationship with you. Besides, you've brought me milk so many times. I'm already yours. Emma. Then why have you been so nonchalant about me? My parents haven't given up looking for me. And I have concerns. But I can't resist any temptation you may have for me, Emma. I shouldn't have messed with you before I got my relationship sorted out. I admit my fault. Caught off guard. I bite. Liam Carter stifled a grunt and gasped with difficulty. His voice muffled to the bone. Emma. Be a good girl and untie me. I admired the lipstick mark on the knot of my throat with satisfaction. My little face flushed with excitement. I didn't think he'd have his day. The feeling of a great revenge was too good. Suddenly, there was a knock on the glass window. I look sideways and shriek, burying my face in Liam Carter's arms like an ostrich. Liam Carter helplessly held down the window with both hands. Something wrong? The traffic cop stiffened before he could get his words out. Seeing his hands bound by a belt and the ambiguous lipstick mark on his neck. This is a temporary parking spot. No parking in 10 minutes. Drive away. Liam Carter coughed softly and said in a fake calm voice. Thanks for the reminder. Be right there. When I closed the window, I vaguely heard the traffic policeman say to the other one. Nowadays, young couples are really good at it. I wailed. My face is gone. Liam Carter burst out laughing. Emma. It's my face that's lost. You still have your little face. I fumbled to untie him and climbed back into the passenger side. Buckling my seatbelt. Let's go to dinner. At 9 o'clock at night. My brother finally called. Like a sulky widow. Emma Thompson. It's time for you to come home. This time Liam Carter was firmly on the same page as my brother and dropped me off at the house. After a few times in a row, I couldn't resist going back to Sophia Miller. He's a ninja? Sophia Miller looked breathless. With all due respect, would you like to try taking the initiative? I thought about it and said, sure. The next rainy night in July, I hugged the phone and told him, brother, I'm scared. In a flash, Liam Carter appeared on my doorstep, dripping with moisture. His shoulders were drenched. He stood looking at the door and hesitated when he saw me in my halter-top pajamas. It was as if my house was a man-eating quailed cave. He entered the house, yanked a towel blanket from the couch and draped it over me. It's cold. Wear more. After that, he took off his coat and went to change his slippers. When I turned around, the towel blanket fell to the floor, and I looked at him blearily with my bare feet. It's cold. Can you hold me? Liam Carter took a deep breath, his forehead veins popping as he walked over and picked me up. Emma Thompson. What do you want? Suddenly interested in his shirt buttons. I kicked my calves and said, I'm warm under the duvet. Why don't you put me under the duvet? Liam Carter sulked, walked into the bedroom and put me to bed. A few moments before I was about to get up, I put my best foot forward and pulled him down. Emma Thompson. He called out to me warningly. Don't be ridiculous. I kissed him, my hand burrowing into his large palm and making waves. Liam Carter clenched his teeth so hard he couldn't even speak. That's the thing about old men who haven't had sex before. They can't help but be tempted. Hey. Can't you take the initiative? Liam Carter's hand palms my waist. Rolling. You're too small. There's that excuse again. I grinned as I picked up my phone and opened the chat app ID pre-downloaded. Tapping on a voice from a guy. Low and magnetic. Sis. It's raining outside. Want to come over to my place? I'll cook you dinner. Liam Carter's breath hitched and he narrowed his eyes. Who? Someone who doesn't mind me being small. He laughed under his breath. You're playing pretty fancy. If you don't play with me, I'll play with Noah. Liam Carter suddenly snaps my waist, flips me over and lightly spanks my ass. I blushed. Don't. I see you're enjoying it. I heard a rustling movement behind me and turned around, instantly being covered as if I were lying down. Liam Carter's low and nice voice rang in my ears. Don't you want to play? I accompany you. What are you afraid of? You old-fashioned. Will you? He snorted. Emma Thompson. Your definition of old-fashioned is way off. I'm not old-fashioned. I'm just afraid I'll scare you. He slowly and methodically took off his watch and removed his glasses, saying softly, I'm up for any kind of fun you want to have. The raindrops pounded on the window with abandon. This time, it was blistering. The dense rain squeezed forcefully into the narrow window cracks, screaming to tear them apart. I struggled, rising and falling as the rain poured down. A few times I lose my voice. Liam Carter murmured, almost paranoid. Emma Thompson. You don't have a choice anymore. There's only me. Only me. On Emma Thompson's wedding day, Ethan Thompson loses control and smashes a vase in front of the hotel. More than one waiter heard him go dofful and soulful. That creep married my sister. I'll be damned. I'll be damned if I knew I shouldn't have said yes to him. Sophia Miller gave him a big pussy pocket. You're normal. You're almost a dad. Be steady. Ethan Thompson's feud with Liam Carter wasn't really about her sister bringing Liam Carter food. Instead, it stemmed from a gym class. More than 10 years ago. The third middle school and the experimental middle school were still connected. Only sparse bushes separated them. That day, Ethan Thompson saw Liam Carter pick up a leather ring that had fallen to the ground and put it into his pocket. Back then, the Tang family was well off. And that kind of head flower was brought back from abroad by his aunt and given to Emma. Ethan Thompson immediately recognized the owner of the head flower. He couldn't stand the thought of someone else coveting his sister and stepped forward to claim it. Liam Carter glanced at him coldly and said, Didn't see it. From then on, he was a pervert in Ethan Thompson's mind. Then later, Liam Carter always appeared not far from Emma's circumference. And he rightly assumed that Liam Carter was going to plot against her. Therefore, he was looking for trouble with him every now and then. At the wedding ceremony, Liam Carter, watching the fun, called Ethan Thompson brother. At the urging of the officiant, Ethan Thompson went home and didn't eat for 3 days. He spat at everyone. And his enemy became his brother-in-law. Liam Carter is not on good terms with his parents. And his aunt is even less likely to come. So this day is dominated by the Tang family's relatives. Liam Carter is afraid that Emma will get tired. So he tells her to sit and eat while he goes to make the toast. Dawn's relatives and friends also doted on Emma and were determined to get him drunk. By the time she's eaten herself into a stupor and sent back to her hotel room by her cousins, Liam Carter has returned. In a daze, Emma feels someone touching her. She rolled over, recognized Liam Carter, and grunted, pouting like a kitten. "You're back." Liam Carter, smelling heavily of alcohol, sat down on the floor some distance from her. "Sleep. Aren't you going to sleep? I'll watch you sleep." He was really drunk and his speech slowed down. Emma Thompson got up from the bed, like a puppy, and knelt on the edge of the bed just enough to be at his level. "Why don't you go to sleep?" Liam Carter's eyes were gentle. "There's not much time. When I wake up from my nap, I'll be back to square one." He didn't dare sleep. The overdose of alcohol had paralyzed his senses and he couldn't even tell dream from reality. "You're drunk, Liam Carter." "This isn't a dream." Emma laughed and pinched his cheek. "Not if it hurts. It's not good." "How do you know?" Liam Carter was silent for a moment. "Because I've dreamt about it many times. Whether it hurts or not. It's a dream." He touched Emma's face, fondly and reluctantly. "Emma, I want you so much." These were the words he dared to say in his dreams. Emma's heart sank a little. It was not easy for someone whose life was almost ruined by her parents to come all the way to where she is today. She cupped his hand. "Now you've got it." He rested his head on Emma's hand. "Got it. I hope the dream doesn't wake up." He frowned, looking a little disturbed. "So that's what his nightmares were like." Emma Thompson thought for a moment and tapped him hard on the shoulder. "Liam Carter." "Huh?" He reopened his hazel drunken eyes and began to touch her face again. It seemed to become an instinct. Emma said with a smile on her face. "We haven't counted the red envelopes yet." "Bonus?" His eyes flashed with confusion. "Yes. Let's count it until dawn. I'll be here. Don't worry." Only by breaking the knot between dream and reality would the nightmare disappear completely. Impressed by the offer, Liam Carter sat up straight. Emma drew one and he counted one. Growing up, had won countless Olympiads. But tonight he couldn't count. 5,003 plus 800. It takes a minute to count. And it's still wrong. Every time he got it wrong. Emma took the money away and started over. "I don't know how many times I've counted. But the light is coming on outside the window." Liam Carter, on the threshold of 5,003 plus 800, finally counted correctly and reported 6,001. He stared at the money in his hand, his eyes tending to clear. At that moment, a ray of light from the window shone in and lit up his pupils. The wine woke up. The dream also woke up. In his eyes is the new wife's bright smile. Like a beam of brilliant stream of light, all of a sudden smashed down his heart. The dream he had been waiting for a long time finally became a reality. Liam Carter looked at her and said, "Emma, I'm so happy."